designer on the beat.
Hey y'all, hey Sha. Welcome back to my spooky channel and Wing Cat. Hey Sha. Double tap that like and sub button real fast. What is up, y'all? What's poppin'? I'm the pasta 10.
How you
What's
make it dip?
poppin', 10? I'm the pasta 10.
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my spooky channel. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Brooke, and this is my Dr. Indy. However, if you are a returning spooky lover, hey Shay, welcome back! It is always a pleasure to talk with y'all again. First things first, of course, as always, y'all, how are y'all? Genuinely, if y'all need somebody to talk to, hit me up. Life is hard. I'ma keep saying this, sounding like a broken record. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification to get notified every single time I post a spooky episode. And give this video a like, y'all, because guess what? We going back a look at some more dark web creepy purchases. Y'all like the first one I did, so like duh, I'm gonna do part 2. Now y'all, these purchases, they never fail. I don't even understand why people do this to themselves. Diving into our first brave purchaser, uploaded by the user Lucid, we have a very sad story of a woman who is unable to get pregnant. Now, due to this, she actually went onto the dark web and purchased this powder from another woman, and believe it or not, her dreams came true. But this story has a twist that will absolutely blow your mind. Let's take a look.
After 4 miscarriages, I bought a baby off the dark web. Some women are lucky. When they conceive, their child is born safe and sound. They grow up healthy and happy. They become doctors, lawyers, maybe even the president someday. Some women are not nearly as lucky. They lose a child the first or possibly even the second time. But then they have their lucky day and they're blessed with an addition to their family. I'm neither of these women. I've never been able to carry a pregnancy to term. 4 times I've conceived. 4 times I've miscarried. It's never easy. I get my hopes up every time. I run to Mitchell with the pregnancy test, grinning and telling him that this is the time. This is the time our family will grow from 2 to 3. The first time my husband spun me around and kissed me several times on the cheek. He did that the second time too. The third time he only smiled. The fourth time the smile didn't reach his eyes. I didn't blame him. I couldn't smile either. Even though hope was attempting to blossom in my heart, I knew I'd never get to hold the life growing in my womb. I threw myself into my garden to distract myself from my pain. Because of this, I have quite a beautiful garden. I grow vegetables of all sorts, carrots, potatoes, a few stalks of corn. I even grew pumpkins last year. When the harvest comes around, I store what I can, and what I can't I end up giving to my neighbors. The little kid next door took the pumpkin I gave them and carved it into the perfect jack-o'-lantern. Well, mostly perfect. Its smile was lopsided. A few months ago, I was in one of my gardening chat rooms when the subject of children came up. My heart ached as I brought up what me and my husband had gone through, and everyone was so comforting. One of the other women, her screen name was Abby Loves Apples, opened up about how she'd also had several miscarriages before she'd had her twins 6 years back. Twin girls, identical in every way. They were so cute I nearly cried. If only I'd had the desire to keep trying like Abby had. I nearly signed off when I got a private message from Abby Loves Apples. I can help you have a child. Let's exchange email addresses. I can't bear seeing you suffer any longer than you have to. Of course, I assumed that she would bring up some sort of expensive medical treatment, something that my husband and I couldn't even dream of affording. Not like he'd even want to try. He was already bringing up getting my tubes tied when our tax return came in. It wasn't that at all. Abby sent me a long message about how she'd also given up hope about having children. How her husband had actually left her for another woman because she couldn't give him children. She'd lost all hope and was 2 days away from jumping off a nearby bridge. She'd made plans, wrote out her will, and was finishing up her suicide note when her elderly neighbor came to visit. That woman saved her life. The woman had brought her something to help her womb become as friendly as her garden. She'd given very specific instructions, and Abby followed them to the letter. With luck and a random man she'd picked up off a dating website, Abby became pregnant and gave birth to Ivy and Iris. And Abby was willing to guide me through this process with no payment necessary. I needed this. I knew Mitchell would never leave me. At least I hoped he wouldn't. But I had no other option if I wanted to give birth to my children. In a week, I got a box in the mail. Abby's instructions were simple, but she insisted I had to follow them to the letter. If I didn't, not only would I lose the baby, but I would risk my life as well. Thankfully, the instructions were simple. In the box was a bag of what I can describe as something like white sand. It was so fine, but had a bizarre smell. almost like copper. I was to measure out a teaspoon of this stuff and mix it with a cup of water once a day, preferably around the same time, and drink it down. I know it was stupid to drink something I got from a stranger on the internet. I was desperate. And Abby didn't come off as a nutcase. It didn't taste bad, at least. It didn't have much of a taste at all, just left my throat feeling rather grainy and uncomfortable. I was to do this until I became pregnant. It wasn't hard to drag my husband into bed. I didn't tell him what I was doing, but it wasn't much of his business anyway. When I skipped a period, I knew I was pregnant. I'd stocked up on pregnancy tests beforehand, and I took 2 to confirm. When my husband got home from work, I showed him the test with a hopeful smile. Maybe this time, babe. His smile didn't have much hope, but he kissed my forehead. He knew I was happy. He didn't know that this time I had a secret weapon. Now that I was confirmed to be pregnant, I had to up my dosage of the Zand. 2 teaspoons, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, taken with water. My husband caught me taking it at night once and asked what it was. I told him it was some prenatal vitamins that would help the baby. He didn't say anything after that, just turned over in bed and turned out the light. His lack of excitement was a thorn in my side, but as weeks went by, I realized there truly was a spark of hope. Now, I had to be careful. Abby specified that I could not, under any circumstance, go to the doctor. Any ultrasounds might interfere with the powder's effects, and I'd have gone through all of this for nothing. I couldn't take any other medication that helped with prenatal care, and it was recommended I didn't tell anyone outside of my husband I was pregnant. Hide it for as long as I could. That last part made the most sense. If I ended up losing the child again, I would have gotten up everyone's hopes for nothing. I'd made that mistake twice before. I didn't want to do it again. The pregnancy went smoothly at first, much to my surprise. I felt my stomach begin to swell. I started wearing baggier shirts just to be sure no one asked too many questions. My husband would carefully phrase questions about how my pregnancy was going, to see if I'd lost the baby yet and just hadn't told him. I didn't expect anything to be wrong until I woke up and I was in the worst pain of my life. My tired brain initially thought I was on my period until I remembered I was pregnant. Then I realized I was losing the baby. I stumbled into the bathroom, shutting the door behind me and twisting the lock. My heart sunk. I was losing the baby again. I went over and over in my mind what had I done wrong. Had I missed a dose? Had I accidentally taken too much or too little? I stumbled into the bathtub and laid down, digging my fingers into the sides and doing my best not to cry out as spasms of pain ripped through my body. I didn't want to wake up my husband for some reason. I lost consciousness as I felt my child leave my body, and when I came to again, blood and fluids were circling down the drain, and there was my child. It was about the size of a potato, a lump of oval flesh that twitched and squirmed. Not comprehending what I was seeing, I picked it up, only to see that there was an eye staring back at me, an eye the color of mine. I dropped it back and bit the back of my hand to stop from screaming. It continued to squirm. It was alive. It was actually alive. I stumbled out of the bathtub, wondering what the hell had happened to me, when I heard my cell phone start to buzz in the next room. Terrified my husband would wake up and see the thing in the bathtub, I hurried out and grabbed it before retreating to the bathroom. Thank God he slept through that. I answered it with a quiet hello. "Did you have your baby?" I didn't recognize the voice, a calm, feminine voice with a southern drawl. But other than my husband, only one person knew I was pregnant. "Abby?" I asked. "Yeah, it's me. Listen to me, did you have the baby?" I looked in the tub at the squirming lump of flesh. "Yes. What is it, Abby? It doesn't look like a..." "Listen to me very carefully. This is the part where you have to be more careful than ever, but you also have to be quick. Pick up your baby. How many eyes are there?" Repulsion racked my frame as I picked up my baby. I carefully turned it over in my hand a few times, shivering as I'd come across another eye. Three eyes. I heard Abby whistle. "Damn, that's lucky. Congrats, you're having triplets. Go to the kitchen and find a sharp knife. Have you ever cut the eyes out of a potato before?" "Yes, same concept. Flesh is a little different to cut, but it's doable with a sharp enough knife. After you're done cutting out the eyes, plant them in a part of your garden that gives them plenty of space to grow. Keep the eyes close to each other, though. They'd not like to be alone. The earth is the womb of the world, but it's still lonely in the dirt. Hurry, you wait too long and the eyes will start to dry." I nearly puked twice as I slowly cut apart the lump of flesh. It twitched and I swore I heard it make a sound like a cry, but Abby reassured me that was just me. I wouldn't have made it through this without her. I planted my babies in the garden, in a plot I just hadn't had time to plant anything in. I collapsed next to the dirt, the blood between my thighs starting to dry. It's all done, Abby. I did it," I said, starting to feel tired. "Good. Get some good fertilizer, water them every day. Talk to them too. Your baby can hear your voice even when they're like that. I'll talk to you after you get some rest. Good night." I was shaken awake the next morning by my husband, who woke up to find blood all over the bathroom and the kitchen and nearly lost his mind, not to mention the leftover flesh from the babies. I really hadn't thought of taking care of it. He thought I'd finally lost it once I told him what happened. He threatened to dig up our babies to prove they were just figments of my imagination. That would have unalived them. I couldn't let him do that. I didn't mean to hit him that hard with the frying pan, but perhaps it worked out for the best. I needed good fertilizer after all. Abby moved in with me last week. She's about 10 years older than me, but we understand each other more than anyone else in the world. The twins are adorable and very helpful. They love to sing to my garden, teaching their future sisters their favorite songs. Last night, we just finished painting the nursery. It was so much fun. Abby got paint on her nose, and after I laughed, she retaliated by dragging her paint-covered hand over my cheek. We finished right on time, too. I can hear my babies start to cry at night, the earth around the place they were planted stirring and squirming. Any day now, they will be ready to be born. I can't wait to be a mother.
What? Did y'all just hear the same story I heard? Okay, so they couldn't have a child, so she ends up buying this powder from the dark web and she ends up getting pregnant. Has the baby early, cuts the eyes out and buries them. Tells the husband, pulls a Rapunzel with the frying pan. Lives with the stranger who sold her the powder to begin with. And now the stranger's kids are singing to the ground. So they're with it. They're with it. So now the stranger's kids are singing to the ground, talking about they showing their siblings their favorite songs. And the mama talking about she can hear her children crying at night down in the dirt. Lord Jesus have mercy. This should be a movie. And in part 2, the children are older, but they grow up to be evil and connive because like the powder has like Chucky's atoms in it. Like the Chucky doll, it has the Chucky's little doll's atoms in it. And they should go around making more of them. And in part 3, whenever they have enough of them, war against the humans. Like, yeah, it did come out of you, but you didn't put that thing in the dirt. You didn't conjure it. It's something. That's not fully human. Somebody put me in Blumhouse Productions because I got a couple ideas. Was it just me, or was it kind of hard to pay attention to the story because that food was looking so good? It was no way I was lusting over that food like that. Except the ramen noodle chicken, though. I don't really know what that was about. Our next TikTok user, Lucas OK, tells us 5 of the most weirdest things you can buy on the dark web. And well, compared to our cat remains and tapes in our first video we did, I'd like to say that most of the things on this list is mild.
These are the top 5 weirdest things you can buy on the dark web in my opinion. Starting at number 5. We have the spirits of deceased children. Yep, you heard that right. You can buy the ghosts, spirits, and whatever else of deceased children on the dark web. At number 4, we have a hitman. Now, most of you probably assumed you could buy a hitman on the dark web, but it still trips me out that it's real. 3. Number 3, my lord. Number 3. Guides to immortality. Once again, your hearing is working just fine. I said a guide to immortality. I don't know what's in it, and I don't know if it works, but you can buy it. Number 2. At number 2, we have a pocket EMP generator, which, if you ever played Call of Duty, means you can knock out any electronics within a little radius of it. This is a real product you can buy on the dark web. I'm gonna go buy it right now. And at number 1, the weirdest thing that I've come across you can buy on the dark web is drugs. Just kidding, that's obvious. At number 1, we have, drumroll, is a DIY kit. Now a DIY for what, you might ask? DIY installing plumbing? DIY fixing your car? I think 2 examples is enough. None of those. On the dark web, coming in at number 1, you can buy a DIY at-home vasectomy kit.
Okay, so the spirits of deceased children, can we all just come together and assume that whoever needs that definitely needs to be in a facility somewhere? Yeah? Okay, next. The hitman. Not unusual. You know, one of the few first things we find out we can buy off the dark web, you know. Next, guides to immortality. So is that like a vampire spell or something? Like, what is actually... Okay, so I hear the words coming out of your mouth, but I can't wrap my head around it. If it don't make sense, we just gonna leave it alone, and that's that. Okay, next. The product, the pocket EMP generator. Yeah, that. I don't know why anyone would need that unless, like, they work for the government or, like, they're Ramsey from the Fast and Furious series. But like a regular person like me, I mean, if my man acting up, I might shut his phone down for a couple hours. I mean, if I feel in my soul that he's with another ho ho ho. Yeah, you know what? I actually might need that. Going into our next TikTok video, uploaded by Skid, we have what he believes to be finger foods that he bought inside of a mystery box from the dark web.
We have finger food. Finger foods, like shrimps. Shrimps are finger foods. Little... Oh, it smells really freaking weird. Oh, this smells so freaking nasty. Something smells really freaking rotten inside this package over here, and I'm definitely putting on the mask.
Part 2, let's go!
What we have here is... Oh my god! What the f is that? To finish off.
That, my friend, is a finger. Okay, that aroma that's filling your house, you know, that same aroma that damn near burns your nose hairs off, that is a finger. Ugh, imagine having that smell going up your nose. I would want to switch noses with somebody. Part 3 is not up yet, but whenever it is, I'll be sure to update y'all. This last TikTok we have, uploaded by JigWeb, also has 2 parts. JigWeb decided to get a mystery box from the dark web, and the contents within are insane.
This mystery box is coming from a dark place on the internet. Got some latex gloves, I don't really want to touch anything. So this was a $300 mystery box, and the first thing I got is a Samsung. It's a black home screen with 1 app on it. The first picture looks like some kind of a house. It's pretty freaking creepy. Second thing is definitely a kid's backpack. That is animal hair right here. Down here at the bottom it says a barnett. I'm assuming it's a girl. This is like a little boy's outfit in a girl's backpack. There's actually stains all over this thing. It says, I am always with you. Most of the things in this box are just weird, like this teddy bear. I can totally feel something inside of this one. There's a little heart box with a thumb drive inside. That's kind of weird and creepy, and honestly, okay, this is a very weird looking box. It smells old, like rotten fruit almost. Comment on this video for part 2, or the screams you hear won't just be in your head.
Part 2, let's get to it, let's get to it.
I ordered a thumb drive from the deep web on which a male person's surgery was recorded. But first, let's see what's in this chest I also ordered on deep web. I got these 2 doll-type figures. Here is human hair attached to the back of this doll's head. Write me below in the comments if you want me to find the owner of this hair. Okay, there's like a little sack with something inside. Is that a tooth? Yeah, there's a tooth wrapped up in cloth inside one of these dolls. I can't believe this is so disgusting. Now I'm going to check what's on the thumb drive. The video is titled We All Eat. The first scene is like the woods somewhere, and now it's like a nanny cam or something. That's a baby in a crib. Actually, maybe 2 babies. Alright, now this right here is disgusting. I'm gonna have to censor some of this out. This is like a surgery of some sort. It looks like somebody being opened up. Okay, this is definitely enough. Tag your friend in the comments so he has nightmares tonight.
Okay, so $300 and you receive the iPhone with weird pics, a girl's backpack with boys' clothes in it, a teddy bear that came with a hard drive of someone's surgery, and 2 dolls that came with someone's tooth and hair. I'm just saying, you know what I could have did with that $300? I could have spent it wisely and still have my innocence. Seriously though, like, for real, y'all, that's grocery money. You see? What? You know, I get paying a little $50. Not even that, really. But, you know, I get $300? No, I'm sorry, I can't. But thank you so much, because now we know what's inside of mystery boxes. Okay, y'all, so today's video, once again, I don't see how people can do it. I really am grateful for those who do go on there and buy this stuff and make content for us. Really, truly, honestly. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification to get notified every single time I post a spooky episode. And like this video. Comment down below some topics y'all would love to see me touch on. And remember to stay safe, you guys. We can't come back together and enjoy another spooky episode if everyone isn't staying safe. As always, I love you. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for your support. Bye, Shy. We're gonna see y'all later.
Yeah.